Hey y'all.
Hello.
Hi. It is 6:57. We are going to start in just a couple of minutes. If you guys come on, y'all already see the title. This is Queen Talk. If you are new to my page, if you're new following Queen Jasmine Speaks, this is Queen Talk. Queen Talk is a platform where we come together on Facebook Live as women and we discuss different topics that, affect us, whether it's, with relationships, whether it's with finances, business. Like we talk about all things queendom, right?
Yes.
We just talk about how to bring out that inner queen, whatever it is. So this is what is going on. Thank you guys so much for coming in. As soon as y'all get in here, make sure y'all hit that like and share button because it's somebody else out there that needs this information and exactly what we are talking about. Hey Chelsea, how are you, cousin?
Hello.
Love you too, girl. Mm-hmm. Hey Deneric, how are you, friend? Hi everyone. Please, when y'all get in here, please go ahead and hit that like and share button. We're going to give y'all just a couple more minutes. We'll start at 7 o'clock. It is now 6:58. And y'all see the topic. We're talking about how to heal, how to discover your purpose, and how to recognize your inner queen. That's what we're talking about on today. Like I said, it's somebody out there that needs this information, what we got to talk about. And we're going to get started in just a few minutes. Give a couple more people some time to get in here. And once again, if you're coming in here, make sure y'all interact with us. If y'all got some opinions, y'all got some questions y'all want to ask, y'all want to give some feedback, like this is the environment where we can come together, we can connect. That's what it's all about. So yes, let's get in here. So I'm not going to hold you guys up. It is 7 o'clock. It's almost 7 o'clock, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Jasmine Hall. For those of you who are new, if you're following, like I said, my name is Jasmine Hall. I am the founder and CEO of Queen Me Women, which is a women's empowerment. It's a women's empowerment group. I'm also a entrepreneur. I'm a mom. I'm Jasmine. I'm me. So right now we have our special guest and co-host Yolanda Davis, but I'm gonna let her introduce herself. This is my sister, y'all. This is my sister. This is like my go-to person. Anytime I need some advice, anytime I need somebody to talk to, like she's known throughout her community. Like she can't even go in Walmart without somebody just stopping, asking her for some advice, to give her feedback. And that's what you are when you have a calling, when you have a purpose on your life. You'll see people like, they'll just reach out to you. They'll gravitate towards you, and she just has that spirit. So just tell the people a little bit about yourself and, what Miss Yo-Yo.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? All you queens out there, so beautiful. I am Yolanda Davis. I'm married to Mr. Paul Davis. I have 4 lovely grown children and 5 pandemic grandchildren. Yes, I said 5 pandemic grandchildren. They all pretty much came, 4 of them came during the pandemic. I think they picked up the phone and called and said, guess what? I ain't worried about COVID. Let's get her some grandkids. But I enjoy my grandkids and I love my grandkids. I'm an independent insurance agent. I sell life insurance, health insurance. I sell anything that you need in that line. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call me if you see me. I've been doing insurance for a while, got out, and I'm back in it. But mostly right now, I am a stay-home grandmother working in between that and cooking and catering.
I was about to say, hold up, you ain't mentioned the cooking now.
Yes, I still do it. That's so, a little this and a little that, and also I like talking to people. I love people. My passion is family. I love the family. I mean, that's where all my passion, that's where all my heart lay. I mean, I want everybody to love one another, to love on each other. But don't get me wrong, I'm getting better. I had a little mean streak in me. But, as you get older, you learn better and you do better. So I've learned to put that attitude and not be so easy to get angry or let people make me mad and step out of character. But, I do know this. When it comes to protecting my own, I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm just being straight up. When you cross me with my family, I'm going to do everything in my power. But when it comes to protecting the home front, the family, I'm going to do just that. And I'm not just talking about fighting. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about anything that I need to do to help my family or take care of my family, I'm going to put them on my back and I'm going to do that. But a long story short, that's all about me. I'm just a simple, ordinary person. So I thank you. And when you see me, I talk, and as my sister can tell you, I will talk the horn off a billy goat. So right now, let me let this goat run around for a while before I take its horn. So I'm going to turn it back over to my sister, Jasmine.
Yes, awesome. Look, we got Dominique on here. She say, yes, she do. Yes, she is. She is big on telling you how it is.
That's my word, baby girl. You already know.
She going to tell you how it is.
I don't sugarcoat it because I feel like this. If I'm telling you something, I want you to be able to be true for me. Don't sugarcoat anything for me. Don't tell me anything just to make me feel good. If you see that I'm doing something wrong or I'm wrong, please tell me that I'm wrong. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you. Now, that's your business if you don't tell me. But if you come to me to talk to me, trust me, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you just like it. What, Dominique? I-S is. Yes.
Okay. So once again, our topic, we're going to be talking about how to heal, how to, discover your purpose and how to connect with your inner queen. Because the truth of the matter is, and this is why I even started like Queen's Talk, how I even started like this platform, because like it's so many broken people like in this world. Like life happens. Like we cannot get around it. I don't care if it's like you dealing with relationships. I don't care if it's your finances, your business, it's sickness. We all gonna have to deal with life. Life is not easy. And so many people are carrying around this hurt. We have this brokenness. Like broken people are going around breaking people, right? So we need to learn how to have these type of discussions so we can learn how to heal, how we can become better, right? And, life is short. We need to be able to enjoy it. Like, it's no need to go around, bitter and angry. Like, our situations, nothing happens to us just to happen to us. Everything happens for a reason and for a purpose.
Yes.
And a lot of times, God, He uses our circumstances and the things that we go through so we can tap into that purpose, right? So that's what we're talking about today. Let's see. I got my notes right here, y'all. I got my my handy notes. So it's kind of like a question and answer type thing. We don't have like a real format of how we want to do it. But once again, we do want to dive deep in, why people are going around with all this hurt, all this anger, all this bitterness. Why do we allow life in our circumstances? And what's the root causes of this brokenness, right? So, as women, because this is the platform we have, Queen Me Women, and I'm glad for the men that are on here as well. But my passion is towards women because I feel like as women, we go through so much. We have to be mothers. We have to be wives. We have to be business owners. We have the weight of the world that we carry, right? And oftentimes we don't have a voice. We don't have a place where we can come and we can be soft and where we can really deal with our emotions and learn how, like, the world is not set up for the woman to win, like, straight up. Like, we're living in a male-dominated society. Once again, this is not bashing any males, but like you said, we're going to keep it how IS is, right? Women have been going through things for centuries. We don't have we used to didn't have the same rights as men. We've always been suppressed. And it's now we need to really find that inner voice and how we can tap into that queendomhood. So the first question is, why do you think, Yolanda, why do you think people who grow up in broken homes, because we're talking about, brokenness and, learning how to heal, why do you think people that grow up in broken homes have more of a likelihood to have problems in adulthood? How do you think that your childhood or how your upbringing plays a part on how you act when you're an adult, or, how you cope with different things as an adult?
Okay, first of all, when you're growing up in a home that's broken, where it could be, broken can mean many things. It can be a home that doesn't have a family, doesn't have a father, or it could be a home that doesn't have a mother. It also can be a home that has relatives, killing each other or hurting one another, or just sexual intercourse for us messing with the kids, and I'm just gonna keep it real. Or messing with the sister and a brother and the sister messing around. So it's all kinds of things that can come from a broken home. So it's just not just because the father is absent or the mother is absent. It's all kinds of. So what I would say is, when we will just keep it as just saying the father or the mother is not in the home. And let's start with the father. I feel like our father is very important in the home. The father is the one that's supposed to set the foundation.
Yes. That's it.
He is the one that's supposed to set the foundations for the family spiritually, emotionally, and financially.
Yep.
That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to protect that family. With the mother, on the other hand, she's supposed to be that all-around woman. That's just the bottom line, because she has to wear many hats. She got to be a doctor. She has to be the mother, the wife. She has to be the cook. She has to be everything within the family. So therefore, back to just say with the husband and the wife, or the father. When you have a home that doesn't have a father in it, and I was one of the ones that was brought up with my mother and my grandmother and my father. Thank God, my grandfather. Thank God for my grandfather. But I was one of the ones that was brought up in a home without a father. And some would say it was broken. But that's why they say, the older people say, it takes a village to raise a family. So therefore, I will go back and say that my home was not broken. I just didn't have the father there, but I had my grandfather to take up the slack. But being said, again, that man sets the tone for the children. Meaning that women, and Jasmine, I know you can relate to this because you have two young men. When you tell those children to do something, a woman might have to tell them 2 times. But that father, he only have to just say 1 time. I know with mine, with Paul Davis. And at times, there were times that he didn't even have to open his mouth. He would just look at them and they would do it. So what I'm saying with that is that the father has this just thing about him where he can get everybody in order. Even with me, if I'm running off my mouth and Paul like, yo, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to keep running off my mouth, but I know when enough is enough. So what I'm saying is the man sets the foundation for the family. Okay, a man is the one that's supposed to take his children. I'm talking spiritually, too. A man is supposed to take his family, take them to church, show those children and that wife how to serve God, because God is the first thing in the house. And the thing is, a broken home is, if you don't have God in there first, it's broken anyway.
Yeah.
So you got to first have God in the family to make that foundation, and then the man stands on that foundation and he builds the home. Now, brokenness, when someone is broken, either 2 things. When they become adults, they're either going to hurt people, or they're going to be the opposite of that was done to them.
Yep.
Those are the 2 things. So when you say that, when you get hurt, when you come from a broken family and you get grown and you do things, you are a product of what you are surrounded with.
Yep.
I know you have heard that the apple don't fall far from the tree. Meaning that whatever they are used to being around, they're going to act that out. You can't pretend. Whatever is in you, it's going to come out you. So sometimes brokenness, when you get to an adulthood, if you didn't heal when you was a child, it's going to follow you into your adulthood. Until you open up your mouth. And we as Black people, we don't like to let people know what's going on in our homes or what's going on with us. We always would say, what goes on in this house stays in this house. Okay, that was back then. But as of right now, with our Black families hurting, some of us are mad at our relatives from years way back. And sometimes our relatives will get a chance, they'll pass without us even going to heal one another and say that I'm sorry.
Yep.
Hold up, life is too short right now. We live in a different age. Different era. Everything is self-centered. It's all about I. We got to stop that. So therefore, I'm telling you, forgiveness is not for the person that hurt you. Forgiveness is for yourself. And that's the first way that you heal in an adulthood. You got to forgive that hurt you and say, you know what, you done had me bound long enough. I'm not going to be changed to this and no, I'm going to set myself free. And the way that you set yourself free is to forgive the person that hurt you. And what you do when you are hurt, and sometimes it takes time, but you don't let that keep you hostage for the rest of your life. You learn and you look back. And sometimes we have to say, look at the man in the mirror. Somebody hurt you, but we'll be the main ones to be the ones that go and hurt somebody else. And then we'll be like, my feeling was hurt, but we didn't think about how we hurt that person's feeling. So we have to be ever so careful of when we get hurt in childhood, not to bring it up into our adulthood. Because when we bring it into our adulthood and then we have children, apple don't fall from the tree. They pick up everything. When you're not even thinking they're paying attention, they're paying attention. They're watching your body language. They learn from your body language. So that's why I tell my children grown. I tell them when they come in my house, good morning, I love you. Most of the time we greet with a hug. We leave with a hug. Been doing that ever since they was small. And that's what I try to tell them to do with their kids. When my kids were small, I told them when they came in at nighttime, they had to come in my room. I took each one of them. I anointed their head, their hands, their feet, and their heart. When they in the morning when they leave out the door to go to school, I did the same thing. So when they got ready to go to college and was grown, PJ used to go before he leave to go to college, back to Georgia Tech. He would come, Mama, come on, you know what we got to do. And that made me feel so good because he did not outgrow what I brought him up in. So again, I say, we got to be mindful how we talk in the house with our young children. So they won't be broken. Learn how to talk to them. Stop cussing them out. We're good at cussing them, but we don't want nobody to cuss us out. Stop cussing your children. Stop hollering at your children. You got to stop it because all you doing is a recycling of the generation that my mama cussed me out, I'm going to cuss you out too. No, we got to do it different because like we say, this mental stuff, this hurt stuff, it makes you hurt people.
It does. So
therefore, with us, we got to stop it. We got to cut it off. We got to stop cursing out. It drives me crazy to go in the store and hear a mother cussing her little children out in front of everybody. Everybody. Now that baby, even though they're small, they got feelings too. Would you like if a grown person in the store that you checking out and they work in the store cuss you out? No, you ain't going to let them cuss you out. You're going to say that was wrong for the way they hurt me. You're hurting the kids. So we got to stop right here with our kids. It's got to start within the home. We got to build our homes back up. Starting with prayer, starting with God. I don't care if a man not in the house. A woman can raise her children with or without a man because she is the healer. She is the backbone of the family. The man is the foundation. God is the head. God is the head. The man is the foundation. We are the backbone of the family. A woman is a caring person. That's what a mother, a caring person. That's why we have the children. A man can't handle it because they wear their hurt on the shoulders. We wear our love in the inside. So therefore, I told you I talk, so you just have to say talking too much.
You
and I'm
good.
getting off. I'm going
Listen,
everywhere.
You preaching.
I'm
Look,
going everywhere.
A finger snap.
But what I'm saying is, it starts first inside with the home that we got to start redoing the way that we bring our family up.
Right. And we are a product of our environment. Like you were saying, like the apple don't fall too far from the tree. And from the day that we are born, like society is shaping our identity, right? You are the family that you grow up into. So either you're growing up in a family that's telling you, like, you know, they're affirming you from an early age. You know, that's why I believe in, you know, telling my kids that, you know, they're going to be successful, that they're smart, that they're beautiful, they're kings and queens.
Yes.
But, you know, sometimes you grow up in a family, and not meaning that sometimes, you know, because broken people break people, you don't know. Like you say, how you talk to your kids, what you tell your kids, man, you stupid, shut up, you talk too much. You know, even my little girl, that little girl, she talks a whole lot.
Oh my
and
God.
I try to not, you know, even though she be young, you know, if you got kids, you already know, like sometimes they'll work your nerves. But I try not to tell her, try not to dumb her down.
Right.
I try to let her have a voice so she can grow up, you know, where she can, you know, express herself. You know, because myself in childhood, not saying that my parents did or anything, but it was even teachers. You know, they told me that, you know, I couldn't do certain things, or, you know, I had a speaking disorder, or those things have been implanted in me. So, you know, I grew up with these self-esteem issues, or I grew up thinking that I couldn't do certain things because of that mindset that has been given to me. So if you're in a home that is placing these limitations on you, right, you're going to grow up as an adult and you're going to have those same limitations. The father, like you were saying, the father is the foundation of a household. And because so many people are broken, we're raising we're in single parent households. You know, we're having, you know, broken men. You know, they're trying to be there and they don't know how to really love, or they don't know how to be that father figure because of what their father did. They had that example of what a father was. You know, and we're going through all these type of things, especially as a woman. You know, we get our self-esteem and we establish that from a man. Like even Adam and Eve, if you look in the Bible, Adam identified who Eve was. She said that you are woman. You are flesh of my flesh. You are bone of my bone. You are woman. That he gave Eve her identity.
Yes.
And just like our fathers, they are the ones that tell us that we're beautiful. Even though it's coming from a mom, you have that mom, you have that motherly love. But as women, we're seeking approval from men.
Yes.
Right? We want to know that we're loved, that we're valued, and that we're beautiful. And if you don't have that father there telling you that you are beautiful, or that this is what your worth is, you're going to look for it in the world. And the world don't have your best interest at heart a whole lot of the times. If you look at the statistics of how many females, kids, women, young girls have been touched on, molested, raped, all this kind of stuff. And like you said, back in the days, we used to brush that stuff up under the rug, right? So it's so many times. I was molested as a child. I don't like to get on here and be personal, but I do want to be vulnerable because these are the type of things that we need to talk about. You know, so it made me have self-esteem issues. It made me try to seek approval outside of myself when the person who should have been approving me is God and myself, the person who I saw in the mirror. But we're trying to, you know, heal all of these broken wounds. So we have these different coping mechanisms, you know, and we try to get this approval from the world. We're always seeking the world's approval, right? But we need to learn how to approve ourselves and how to esteem our children. So that's what the effects of, you know, growing up in broken homes is. Breaking people broke people. So, but it's time for us to break those generational curses.
Break them.
We're having these conversations. I don't care if we got to be uncomfortable, if we don't want to talk about it. It's time for us to make a change. Like I say this all the time. We need to be the change that we need to see in the world. It starts with us. It starts in our household. I'm not a perfect parent, but guess what? I try. You know, I try to, even when I find myself, like, I'm that type of person. I raise my voice at my kids because of anger and my emotions. But then I have to say sometimes, listen,
step back.
Think about how it's going to affect them in the long run. Think about the adult that they're going to grow up to be. And so many people, like, they have all of these broken relationships because they have not been established in their households.
And I'm gonna take that back. And maybe this might be a tip for someone. It was on Thursday nights. Every Thursday night, my kids and my husband and I would sit to the table. That's the day that Whatever has went on, if one of us have offended one another in the family or whatever, that was the time that we discuss what was not fair or what was fair, or I didn't get an understanding, or mom or dad, could you tell me why I couldn't do or I couldn't have? And that's what we would do. And what I would do is, these phones, it's robbing the family. It's robbing the family. Because we don't know how to go to the table now and have table talk and eat together without everybody at the table on their phone.
Right.
I put in my household, when you come to the table, don't bring no phone. And especially on Thursday night, whatever has happened in the family, outside, at school, whatever you need to discuss, talk with us. I was trying to teach my children that when they got to adulthood, it's a way that you can talk and solve conflict without having to fight all the time. If someone does something to you, it's okay to go to that person and say, look, I didn't understand this part. Or could you tell me, I'm sorry, or I feel like you offended me or something like that. I was teaching my children then how to handle conflict. Not that I got it perfect and not that they got it perfect, but I was trying to instill in them how to handle conflict. And they were little kids. So it don't matter about the age, parents. If your child come to you and want to talk to you, listen. We don't always have it right. The parents don't always have it right. I got Cody J right now, my little grandson. When he do something wrong, and I get on to him, or on to all of them now, I explain to him why I'm doing what I'm doing. And let me tell you how I know that kids pay attention. Because I would say, because I said so. And you didn't blah, 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 blah. But I said so. So his mama told him to do something. And however he told her. But the bottom line was, because I said so. And he done heard me when I get on to him. I tell him because I said so, and I explained to him what he did. So he did the same thing to his mother. So this is what I'm saying. They're not too young to catch on. Just have a listening ear. That's all that I'm saying.
Now, we're talking about brokenness, and a lot of the times the issues that we have in life, we have people issues, right? We have people breaking people. We have people who are sometimes the root causes of our brokenness that we have to deal with. I don't care whether it's from your father, whether it's from, your peers when you were growing up. Maybe you were bullied. Maybe, you never fit in. You have all these traumas that you have to deal with. But I want to talk about, what does your brokenness, your level of brokenness, or, the fact that how whole you are, what does it play with the relationships that you choose, whether it's romantic, whether it's business, whether it's friendships? Why do broken people usually gravitate toward toxic or, negative relationships? And how can we break that down and, make it better so we don't choose those type of people, even if we have these issues that we had to deal with in childhood?
Well, first of all, we tend to be attracted to the things that hurt us the most. Yep.
True.
That man, that woman, that habit, for some reason it tends to draw us, that we can't leave it alone. Addiction. Whether it's addiction of loving a person, a bad habit, drugs, like having sex, different men, different women. However, we tend to want the things that are not good for us.
Yeah.
Back to saying there's good and there's evil. And a lot of times we get hurt and we'll say, well, I'm not going to let that person hurt me anymore. Or I'm not going to do that bad habit anymore. I'm going to be better than that. But to cut through all the red tape, we got to stop revisiting those places and those things that was not good for us. We have to stop going into places that will draw us to the bad relationships. When you go in a club, 9 times out of 10, everybody that go in the club is not bad. And everybody that go in the club is not good. But right where you find that person at, if it was in a bad habit or doing bad things, drugs, sex, or whatever, you got to look at where you found them from. You got to look at where you got them from. And most of the time, where you got them from, it's going to be in them. Unless you decide that, hey, I might be skipping ahead of time. There's the boundaries. There's the worth. My worth. Or we're going to be or do better. So what I would say to keep from going back to the things that hurt us, you got to change your surroundings. You got to change your surroundings. If you're looking for a man and you want to go to the club to find that man, just remember when you get him and when he say, babe, I'm going out, and you don't want him to go out, that's where you found him at. That might be his character. You found him there. Don't get mad because he wants to keep going to the club. Because sometimes they go to the club and it get old and they're still a good man. That don't define a man or a woman. That don't say they bad or good. But what I'm trying to say is, you're saying you keep going back to the habits or the things that hurt you. I'm saying whether it's a good hurt, I'm saying whether it's good or bad. A healthy relationship or a bad relationship. You got to look at where you found that relationship from. Just say, for instance, if you going to church, that don't mean that everybody sitting in the church is good. He could be just as worse as the one that was in the club. But it's some hope in either one. But it's some sure enough hope in the church. Because he had the mindset of having a personal relationship with God. You found him in the church. A woman can't make no man. We can't make him. We can't make him. A man can't make a woman. But what we can do is decide what is best for the relationship. When you find that person, these are the things that I don't like. These are the things that I do like. Now, when you said that, and you done told them that, the choice is yours. If you want to keep staying, and if they hurt you, and you want to keep going back, that's your choice. Yeah. That's the choice that we choose. And we're human. For some reason, we like going to the places that hurt us and the things that hurt us. But all things that hurt us, 9 times out of 10, even though it hurt you, it's going to work out for your good. Believe that. In every hurt, there's a lesson to be learned. Yes. And there's a lesson that you can share to someone else. Because when bad things happen to us, it's not just for us. It's to help that other sister. It's to help that other brother. It's to help that other child to pull them through. Yeah. So pain is not necessarily bad. Right. A toxic relationship is bad when it's toxic. Because when it's toxic, there's a chance that someone is going to get hurt or lose their life. And I mean through death or either in jail. When it's toxic. But when you come from brokenness is either going to make you or it's going to break you. So that's my intake on brokenness, because we can learn a whole lot out of our brokenness. Trust me. It might sound like I'm crazy, but trust me. You can learn from your brokenness. But it's up to you if you would like to stay in your brokenness. Some brokenness like to say, you can't keep going back if you want to heal. Because you're not going to heal if you keep going back to that brokenness. You know how much you can bear. And you know how much you can take. But one day when you're get sick and tired, you'll leave it alone. And if it was meant to be, it'll work itself out. So when you say brokenness, a broken relationship, sometimes broken relationships could be healthy. Because sometimes you have to separate yourself and separate the brokenness, the hurt. You have to get by yourself.
Yeah.
And see, is this worth me in the fight? Is this worth me staying in the fight? Or do I need to move on? So what I'm saying is, all brokenness is not bad. It's the way that each individual have to look at it. But now I said toxic, you need to leave it alone. Yeah, you need to leave that alone. You got black eyes and he beat you up and he about to kill you. You need to leave that alone. But a broken heart, it's not like cancer. You can get over that. And you can learn behind that. So that's the way that I look at brokenness. Brokenness can be good and brokenness can be bad. But toxic,
Yeah. And right now we're living in a society like we're glorifying toxic relationships. If you listen to these songs, like, oh, it's cool to be toxic, or they think that's
call
real
you out
love.
your name,
yes, all
I
that.
can't stand it.
No, that's not healthy. And it goes back to your childhood. Like, if you look, I talk to a lot of women. You know, I've dealt with women from different backgrounds, women who have been raped, women who have been molested. You know, I've done the studies, I've done the research. And a lot of times, if you look at women who are, you know, maybe, or men who are promiscuous, or women who are promiscuous, a lot of it has to do with those childhood traumas that they have not healed. And a lot of times we're looking to be healed in the same environment that broke us. And it's not going to do that. It's not going to work out like that. See, a lot of times it may be like a woman, maybe she had a father who she saw her mom getting beat on or her mom getting cheated on. The type of man she usually chooses is a man who does the same thing, because we're always trying to fix things. As women, we're natural fixers. We're trying to always fix. We're trying to always repair. That's why you see all these women, they trying to get these builder men, right? These men that have all this potential, but he's not doing the work, right? We think that we can take on all these projects, right? So we have this broken man. We can say, okay, maybe I can fix him. Maybe I can be the one who changes him. Maybe I'm the one that can make him look different. We like to take on these projects, and this person is keep on hurting you. They keep on doing the same things over and over again, and you're constantly just getting broken, right? You keep on going back because you have not healed. You have not developed that self-worth. Maybe when you were growing up, you weren't esteemed enough, or maybe you didn't have anybody to tell you, like, this is what you need to go for. These are your values. This is your worth. You are worth more than that. You see some of the prettiest, most beautiful women, they're around here settling for nothing men, like men that don't have no potential, men that are not going anywhere, right? I've done it myself. I've done the same thing because I wasn't healed. I had all these childhood traumas that I never processed, so I didn't know my self-worth, right? So I'm going around talking to these guys who I feel like, oh, maybe they have this potential, or maybe they're on my level, so I don't have to like feel insecure, right? And I can bring him up to a different level, but it does not work like that. You have to establish yourself. You have to know who you are. You know how to know whose you are as well. You're a child of God.
Amen.
And he gives us our identity. We are a child of the Most High. So we are queens. We don't have to settle for less, right? And I think society would be so much better if women, we stepped up our standards, right? We see all these women like, okay, they say it's hard to find a man, but a whole lot of these women, they're making it easy for these men. You don't require anything for them to sleep with you. You don't require anything for them to come and move in with you. You let them drive your car to work, and I've done it. I'm not judging anybody, but until we have these conversations and break those things and change from that mindset of why we have to settle for that, we're always going to keep on getting the same thing. So stop going to what breaks you. Know that you have to heal yourself first. And a lot of times, women, they're going in you see women, they're habitual daters, right? They'll get out of one relationship and then a couple of weeks later they'll be in another relationship and then another relationship because they have not taken the time to really figure out, okay, what part did I play? What red flags did I ignore? What is it about myself that I feel like I need to latch on to this unhealed person, right, to make me feel better? Why is it that I have to have a relationship in order to heal me? It gets lonely. Right, I'm in a single season, so I know it gets lonely. I've been single before, so it's not easy. You have your emotions, you have your hormones that you have to deal with. You have Facebook. You see all these people on Facebook looking like they're happy. A lot of people look like they're happy, but don't let it fool you. You don't know what people go through behind closed doors.
Amen.
So we can't compare our lives to other people. We can't compare our timeline to other people. When we are healthy, when we're whole and we're healed, we can make better decisions. If you take yourself out on dates, right? You date yourself. You date God, right? That's who you need to be in a relationship with first, because then when somebody comes and offer you something, you be like, okay, like this is what I expect. And if you're not coming with the full package, now people not gonna be perfect, but you don't have to settle for certain things. You don't have to be this build a man type of woman, right? They call it pick me. They call it pick me. I'm the one. I cook, I clean. As women, for real. Like as women, we were taught, like growing up, the way you keep a man is, you gotta have sex with him. You have to cook, you have to clean, you have to have his kids, you have to do all that. But no, a man respects a woman who respects herself, who has standards for herself. If you're easy, if you feel like, if they don't have to put up a whole lot of work, that's what you're gonna deal with. You set the standards in the beginning of that relationship, and it sets you up to be hurt. So when you have these standards and say, okay, this is not, I'm not gonna deal with this. This is how you have to come to me. This is how you have to approach me. I'm telling you, the relationships that you have are gonna get better and better. And you gotta learn. Like with the two ways we're gonna learn, either life gonna teach you, or you're gonna have a father or somebody, a man or somebody in your family that's gonna teach you, or you're gonna have a mother that's been there who has done it. But society has always tried to make the woman the less than, right? Even with men, right? When we have men who are raising young boys, like they teach a man, especially when you're a broken man, the way to manhood is you have to have cars and money. You have to have all these women to sleep with. That's what makes you a man, right? That's what makes you a man. But then, you have these men tricking women. So it's like, these women, they're a lot of people just trying to run game on you, right? They come in to try to present themselves in a certain way. And that's why this cycle just keeps on continuing. But like I said, if you know your worth, you know who you are. At the end of the day, you're not going to know who you are. You're not going to let society just tell you anything. So the next one is, what is the importance of forgiveness when it comes to your healing journey? Because like I said, we have things with our families, with relationships, right? And we have all this hurt, things that happen in our childhood, people that done touched on you maybe as a child. You having all these things on the inside of you. Why is it important for you to forgive those people who have hurt you?
First of all, like I said earlier, forgiveness is for you. It's for yourself. Forgiveness is not for that person that hurt you. Forgiveness is for you. He who angers you have control of you. And that's something that don't come just like that. That's something that takes time to learn how to do. Sometimes it's harder for people to forgive than others. But the bottom line is we need to forgive quickly.
That's
I'm
a
talking
hard
about
thing. That's a hard thing.
It's hard. It's hard, but it's for your own good.
And it's necessary.
God knows it's hard, but it's for your own good. And when you learn how to forgive somebody, when you forgive somebody that really, really hurt you, and you turn it over to the Lord, I mean, you just got to turn it over. And that's the only way you're going to be able to do it, is to turn it over to Him. When you turn it over to Him and you forgive that person, they don't have no full hold over you no more. When you see that person, you will know when you don't forgive, because it won't. You know how you can walk by a person, somebody that did something wrong to you, and then when you see them, you just get this, this burning feeling or whatever, or it just like make your heart like flutter. But when you forgive, and sure enough forgive, you can sit right by that person. Don't bother you a bit, because you have truly forgiven them. And forgiveness is necessary, because you know what? You don't know who might have to forgive you. So therefore, like they say, you have to give forgiveness, because you might need that same forgiveness for yourself. I call it mercy.
Yeah.
You might need somebody to give you mercy one day, because we're not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. I'll give you a perfect example. I was at a church function at Cairo High School. And I had just started crying because the singing and caught up in, with God and everything. And this woman walked up to me, and she was crying. And she was one of them women that we had our issues. But the thing is, the Spirit came on her that she had to come to me and tell me she was sorry. She said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I done in your household. She said, will you forgive me? And honey, I cried even harder. And I grabbed her and I hugged her. And I said, see, baby, the thing is, I forgave you a long time ago. You just forgiven me. But I forgave her a long time ago. Because when I started getting my relationship with God, I was taught that I had to forgive.
Yep.
And the sad thing is, this woman thinking I was hating her all these years that done passed by. But I had forgiven her a long time ago. And that made me feel so good. And when we see each other, we would say, hey, how you doing? I'm good. How's the children? That's why you give forgiveness. That's why. Because I couldn't afford to let her have that stronghold on me. I couldn't. And it made me feel good to forgive her. Because you know what? Like I said, ain't no telling when I'm going to need forgiveness. And I need somebody to have mercy on me. Not only me, but my children. So I am a forgiving person. No matter if we mad today, I'm going to forgive you, because I'm not going to let you have control of me. Now, you might think I'm mad with you, but trust me, soon as I finish me and you having our little situation, I let you go.
Yep.
I refuse. God knows I refuse to not forgive anyone. I don't care what it is. I even told my husband, I said, you know what? If something was to happen and it was where I had this, somebody did something to my family or whatever, I couldn't send that person to the death chair. I couldn't do it. Even though they have hurt and uprooted my family, however, I just don't believe I can send them to the death chamber. Because guess what? I ain't got no hell or no heaven to put them in. And God knows I just might do something too. And I need that mercy. So therefore, I'm telling you, forgiveness is a must. I don't care how somebody hurt you. Forgiveness is a must. Because you know what? We go down on a lot of anger. We go down on a lot of anger. And don't get me wrong. It took me a long time to get to this point to where I am now. But I used to say sometimes I would have issues. And I like to say mad at somebody. And I say, I go to bed. And I know I'm supposed to go to bed being angry at somebody. Because if I don't wake up in the morning, hell is where I'm going to lift my eyes. Because I did not forgive. And I refuse for somebody else right now, to this point, to the stage that I'm in right now, to let somebody send me to hell because I wouldn't forgive them. And when I forgive them, that don't mean you got to sit up and kiss them and smile. I forgive you and I ain't got to see you no more. I can separate myself from you. I don't have to see you no more. But you better best believe I'm going to forgive you.
Yep.
So forgiveness, if you don't hear nothing I said, if it's somebody that have done anything wrong to you, I don't care if it's your marriage, and I'm king on marriage. I got some stuff coming for that. I'm king on marriage. I'm king on family. Go forgive your husband. Go forgive your children. Go forgive your family. It's time to get it right, y'all. Life is too short. We got to forgive. We got to have mercy because God have mercy on us. And we're not perfect. We'll never be perfect. I don't care how hard you try. You can easily offend somebody. And we going to need that mercy. So forgive.
Yep.
That's all I got to say.
Yep.
Forgive.
Yep. And a lot of times, like, people wrong us and you might not know what that person going through at that time. You know, they even like you see people in public. You might speak to somebody and you think they seen you and they just ain't speak back. But that person might have had a lot on their mind that they probably ain't even see you, right? And it's not that we're battling against other people. We battling against these spirits that are on the inside of us. Like you said, I might need some forgiveness someday. There's been things that I've done to people where I've hurt people or that I've said something, right? And because of who I was at that moment, right? Or the things that I was going through, relationships are destroyed.
Yes.
Right? Families are destroyed. Marriages, mothers, kids, fathers. All of these things are going on, and these issues aren't being resolved because of all of this bitterness, all this heavy loads that we keep on carrying on our hearts. These things that we have not let go, these things that we have not talked about. You don't know how a simple conversation with somebody can fix the issue. All these years, you might have these different things that you're carrying on your heart. Somebody might have said something to you the wrong way. That person might not even meant it like that. Right? But you don't have this understanding until you sit down and talk about it. And sometimes you got to forgive people without apology. Sometimes people, you'll never get an apology. But it's for you. It's not for that other person. That person done gone on about their life. They done gone on about their business. People be mad at people for things that done did in elementary and high school. No, life is too short.
Too short.
Too short.
Too short.
And you have to have that mercy on people. Like, we're human. We've all done some things. We all done wrong. Right? We might get mad and bitter and angry at the moment. Like, I done had some moments where I be wanting to hurt me like Jesus. But then that feeling that I have, because I try to be a positive person. I try to be a loving, kind person. But if I'm having this energy, if you're making me mad, if you're making me bitter, making me have these malicious thoughts about hurting you or, you know, what I want to happen to you. No, I let God deal. You have to let God deal with certain things. You have to let karma play its part. I done had karma that I had to deal with. But karma is going to be karma. Karma is going to do what karma does. That's why you can't go around planting these bad seeds. You have to make sure you're intentional about planting good seeds. Right? And know that if something has been done to you, know that God going to take care of it. Right? I don't know what to say. If you dig a ditch, one ditch, guess what? You gonna dig, you might as well dig two, right? You dig a ditch for one person, you might as well dig two, because that's the way the universe works. And we gotta know that. And I've been going through a season right now. You know, I've been having a lot of different things that's been going on in my life, and I was walking around with all this anger and all this bitterness. But I was like, you know, why am I doing this? Why am I hurt? Why am I allowing other people to hurt me? Why am I allowing their projections, how they think about me? But so what I've been doing, I've been saying, you know, all this hurt that I feel, send it back to the sender. Give it back to the sender. This does not belong to me. I do not own this emotion.
Amen.
This cannot have me. This cannot hold me down. It goes back to the sender, right? Because a lot of times we don't know how certain things feel until it's been done to us.
Amen.
We don't know how it feels until karma comes around and does what karma does. But that's what it's all about. It's about becoming better, not bitter, not allowing these circumstances to keep us the same. But you got to take accountability. At the end of the day, you have to take accountability. What role did I play? What could I have done better? Maybe it's a relationship. What could I have done? What could I have said to be a better partner? My kids, what could I have done to mend the relationship a little bit better? What can I do? So now that I'm going on, maybe I might not have the same chance with that person, but I might get in another situation and I can use those life lessons. I can become better, right? It's about becoming better and not bitter. So next, and we're almost about to wrap it up. We're coming up on the 8 o'clock hour. How does pain tie into your purpose with you discovering your purpose, right? Because we already talked about gifts and, you know, we already talked about how Ms. Yolanda, like, this is the go-to person. I'm telling you, like, you have a conversation with her, I'm telling you, you're going to be changed. Your life's going to be changed, right? She's going to motivate you. She's going to do all that. But how does your pain, because I'm sure there's some things you can't talk to people about.
You can't.
You can't talk to them unless you went through it.
You cannot.
Unless you experience that pain. So talk about how pain ties into your purpose.
Pain ties into your purpose.
Can we get an ebook, Miss Yo-Yo? Oh,
you can get it. It's coming soon. It's coming. And with that being said, my pain has drawn me to my purpose. Trust me, it's coming. I wonder why, and me and my husband, we talk about this. I keep it real. There was a time that we were going through that we just, this it. I just say this it. That no, not. I got hurt. I used to ask God, why? Why did you let this happen to me? I thought I was doing everything right. Why, God? Why? In my pain, in my cries, in my tears. Know what God said? Why not you? Why not you? I thought that I was going to lose my mind behind that pain. Sometimes God will allow, he don't give it, the devil bring it. He just allows it to happen. That pain that God allowed to creep in to my home. God made it better. My marriage is more stronger now. Woo, Jesus. I didn't understand when I was going through. But Lord, now that I went through, me and my husband went through our tough time. I never found a love like this. We love each other more now than we ever. So I thank God for that pain. And it drew me to my purpose because I'm like, God, why am I going through this? But in the same time that I was laying in my bed crying and hurting, like Jasmine say, everybody want to come to Yo-Yo. And I'm like, God, why are you sending these people to me? Why? I'm hurting myself. How can I help somebody? Why can't you help somebody? I'm like, God, what you doing to me? What you doing to me? I kept dreaming. I kept seeing war. And I'm like, okay, God, why is you doing war? What's this about this war? And I've been disobedient. And this is why I'm trying to tell you, I'm finna get out of the disobedient stage. Because now it has come full circle for me. For my purpose. And it kept saying war. And I'm like, Lord, why you giving me war? He said, you go get. No, let me back. Let me back. In the midst of me crying, knock on the door. Phone calls. I'm talking about all like this. I'm like, and I was like, I want to talk to you. Can I talk to you? I'm like, why you, okay, yeah, what's going on? People I never seen before. I mean, I done seen them before, but we don't have no dealings. I see them, how you doing? And I thought, Miss Shirley, I want to talk to you about my relationship. I want to talk to you about my marriage. So I'm like, now, who am I to sit up here and talk to somebody about a marriage when I'm sitting up here going through my own issues? So I'm sitting up there listening, and this person said, God told me to come to you. I said, God told you to come to me? And they said, yes. I don't know why, but God told me to come to you. And we sat there and we had our conversation. I said, okay, God. Then here go the phone ring. Miss Shirley, I want to talk to you. Just tell me how you do this, and here I am giving out more information. Then it told me, go get Ursula, which lives across the street from me. Go get Shatay, which is Dank. And go get Tay-Tay, Addison. I'm like, what I'm going to get these people for? And then, I'm serious, y'all, and I've been disobedient. And Shatay, I hope you see it if you're online. Would you please get up and verify that I'm not lying? This has been years ago. It says, get those women, go to the park, get you some donuts. Y'all some donuts. Some donuts. That's just how sweet God is. He wants you to have some donuts. He's that sweet. Get these women. Still didn't tell me what. He said war. I got a knock on the door. My next door neighbor came over, Miss Ursula. I say, I got to tell you something. Me and her talk. I said, God keeps showing me this thing about war. And he keeps saying rest, but I don't understand. She say, come to the door. Come to the door. Let me show you something. I said, it just feel like he want me to do something and I'm not doing it. I don't get it. Come to the door. She said, what street you, look up there at the stop sign. She said, well, she was saying, look up there at that sign. What you see? I said, a stop sign. She said, no, not the stop sign. What does that sign say? I say, rest. She said, okay then. That's what he telling you. You live on rest. Rest. He said, what? She said, what that street? I said, it said peace. She said, what that street around there say? Love. What the other streets around there say? Humble. She said, that's what God trying to tell you. I said, okay then. All right, you got something going on. Went back to sleep again. God aggravated with me again. I guess like to say, Jacob wrestled with the angel all night long. I wrestled with God all night long for days trying to get this, what I haven't done, but what I'm getting ready to do. And he said, this is my purpose. So we talk about pain pushing into purpose. Mm-hmm. This is what he said. He said, war. Kept saying war. I said, okay, war. He said, get you some camouflage. I said, camouflage? He said, I want you to do it with a dip of red. I say, red. So I said, okay, God, what is war, Lord? What's war? What's war? He said, women at rest. I said, okay, Jesus, I got you now. And then I started opening myself up and just listening and listening. And he was saying, those women that I told you to go get, they've been through stuff like you. But I need y'all to minister to the women that are wounded, that are hurt. Because I brought y'all through. I don't know their business, but this is what he told me, led me to do. I brought y'all through. And so you're going to be responsible for war. Women at rest. Meaning that we done went through hell with our husbands. But now we at rest. Because we have learned to fight those battles. We have learned to take the bruises one time after another and get back up and still stand for the family. Mm-hmm. Because he put that fight in us. And I'm going to stand until I can't stand no more. Until the breath leave out my body, I'm going to stand with that man. I thank him. I thank whoever. I thank myself. I thank God for allowing the pain that I went through, because it have made me and him a better people. I ain't say a person. I say a better people because of our pain. Now we got understanding for one another. Now we just enjoying this old gray hair and that old gray beard and all those grandchildren. When I tell you my pain have pushed me through my purpose, because I'm crazy about marriages. I got a big heart for marriages. I feel you can send me the worst marriage, and I feel it ain't no abracadabra. It's me on my knees praying. Mm-hmm. And I feel if I give you some words, you can turn your marriage around. And not only just marriage, but relationship. And so this is what I'm saying. That pain that me and my husband went through, and not just my husband, my children, because see, when stuff like that happened, when the devil thought he was going to kill us, good God Almighty, he made that Davis family, Lord, we Tonka truck strong now. We Tonka truck strong now. I take that back. We God strong now. Because that man is a new man. That man, Paul Davis, the old man that y'all know, he's a new man now. He's a new creature. He's a new man. He has turned his life around. And I thank him. And I love him. And we're going to have some good things coming soon, because I got a teammate now. And we ain't ashamed to tell our story. Because you know what? The pain that we went through, it's helping somebody else through. So that's my purpose, because that Billy Goat got to go, because I done took his horns. Get it? Get it? Get it?
That's right. That's right. You know, in my life, I've dealt with so many things, and you are just, your testimony, your story, it's so amazing. The situation's not going to be perfect. We already talked about Facebook, how everything looks a certain way on Facebook. Everybody think that life is just happy. People, we don't have problems, but we all have problems. We all have issues. Now, it's a difference between being toxic and you just having different issues, or you having problems. Those things can be worked out. You can have forgiveness. But I'm just talking about me personally in my life. For a long time, I questioned why things happen to me. I try to be this good person. I try to show up to be the best version of myself. I try to love people. And it seems like the more I give love, the more things just come and they hurt me. The reason why I started my women's empowerment group is because I was in an abusive relationship with somebody that I thought loved me. But because I didn't fully love myself, there were certain things that I ignored. There were certain things that I settled for. Right? So that relationship ended with me literally having a gun. If you don't know my story, I was tied up with duct tape. I thought I was going to be taken from my children, right? But God allowed me to live on, right? He didn't allow that situation to affect me. He didn't allow that situation to be the end of me, because he had a purpose for my life. I started researching about abuse. I started researching about how to love yourself. I had to try to figure out why was I going through these different patterns? Why was I seeing these type of relationships? Why was I keep on going through the same things over and over again? But then I learned about the things that I was doing. And I said, you know what? I'm having these conversations with all of these different women. I'm a hairdresser. And as a hairdresser, if you've ever gotten your hair done, your hairdresser, they got to be your counselor. They're going to be your doctor. They're going to be your friend. They're going to be all of that. Right? And I got a chance, because I was thinking to myself, okay, it's just something wrong with me. It's something that I'm doing wrong. I'm the only person. I was embarrassed about my story. I'm just now getting to the point where I can actually get on camera and tell my testimony, because I had this shame that was built up on the inside of me. But the more I talk to different women, I realize we're all going through the same thing. We all got a story. I don't care who you are. We all got a past. We all got a story. We all made mistakes. We all done things that we were proud of. But guess what? I turned that around. I did not let that situation take me out. I could have lost my mind.
Yes.
I could have said, I could have threw in the towel. I could have committed suicide. I could have gave up a long time ago. But I turned that mess into my message.
Yes.
And I said, you know what? Let me start this women's empowerment so I can help women. I don't want it to just be in my city. It's women around the world. It's women. And right now we on Facebook. You know, we having these type of discussions. We're not sweeping things up under the rug no more. We're being that change. We're speaking up. We're talking about these issues, right? Because you talking about it, it might be able to save somebody's life.
Yes.
I might be able to tell a young woman that might be in that abusive relationship, get out.
Yes.
Go. That's not love. That's not what love feels like.
Sense.
Because I've been there before. I thought that was love, but that was not love. So I can preach to them now. Right? I lost my business. I've invested money in businesses. But how can I know that that's not the end of me? Right?
Amen.
God already showed me my vision, but I had to lose certain things. So when I do become successful, or when I get to where God is going, has me to go, I can say, just because you lost in this season, just because you failed, that does not mean you give up. Look at Tyler Perry. Look at Steve Harvey. Look at all the greatest people. They are the ones who failed the most. But guess what? They turned their pain into purpose.
Yes.
Because it's about helping somebody else. I don't care if you're the janitor. I don't care who it is that you. I don't care what it is you cook. What you do, your purpose is to help somebody else out. What God-given talent do you have that can help other people? It's not just about us and making money and buying houses and cars. Our purpose is to help other people. Our purpose is to show other people what God can do, the changes that he can make. I was broken. I was lost. I was out there. But guess what? If God can change me, if God can do it for me, why he can't do it for you?
He can do it.
You can come through anything that you go through.
I know he can.
The sickness that I done faced. I thought I was on my deathbed. I was on my deathbed thinking I was not going to come through. And I had to be there. I had to talk to God.
Oh my God.
I had to talk to God. And I was like, Lord, how do I come through out this situation? But guess what? He brought me out because he said that there's somebody else that might have a sickness. There's somebody else that might think that this is the end. But me talking to others, even when I talk to other people, my mentors, you know, they done told me times they done been broke when they ain't have no food. But now they're making millions of dollars. Like, that's the type of things that God can do. But we have to have that hope because let me tell you, the reason most people fail is because they don't believe. They don't have that hope. And we see what we are, what we see. We can't see past our circumstances. But if you're able to look at somebody and you're able to look at their life and say, okay, if that person made it through, I can too. So that's what it's about. Turning your pain into purpose. Your pain, you might have books on the inside of you. Daenerys already said you got an ebook on the inside of you. We got to work on that ebook for her, right?
Okay.
That pain into purpose, you know. You got books, you got businesses, you have all of these things that you can birth out of your pain, but you cannot allow that pain to make you bitter.
It's a blessing.
Yep. So the last thing I have on here is, what does having a queen consciousness look like? Because we're talking about, you know, this whole thing about, you know, using your pain, how to heal, you know, walking into your purpose. But it's all about discovering that queen consciousness, you know, that king consciousness. What type of mindset do you have to have in order to carry out these things? How does having a queen, what does that look like for you? When you say I have a queen conscience, what does that look like to you?
My queen conscience is my personal relationship with God. I got a beautiful crown with that personal relationship with God. It's beautiful. That's first. When you know who you are and whose you are, you don't have a problem. You a queen. You was born a queen. But sometimes, like to say, we let other people take our crown. Remember the song say, no cross, no crown, no pain, no crown. You're going to have to go through some pain in order to... The queen is within you. The queen, you was born a queen. But it's just like a diamond. It's just like the olive. It has to be crushed. It has to go through the fire in order to be purified. So all your Diamonds can shine in your crown when you put it on. Because you've been through the fire. I don't want nobody telling me nothing that ain't been through something. You can't tell me nothing. If you ain't been through something, don't come telling me nothing. I want the people that done been through something. See, we like to turn our nose down at people and make them feel bad because they done been through something. I'm going to use my friend Avis Bogan, and she don't mind. Because we talk about it all the time. You know her story. But my friend, she turned her life around. When people were looking down, but look at my girl now. The devil thought he had her, but God came and grabbed her. My friend Avis, she know the talks that we have. And I'm proud of her. You take an old woman that done ran the street, I'm going to tell you like my grandma used to say, a woman can't do what a man do. But these days, we women think we can do just what a man do. We think we can have just as many men as they can have. But my grandmama always told me, a man can pull his drawers down. And the whole time I say, that's a crazy old man. Let me tell you what that crazy man did. He pulled his drawers down. But we as women.
Come on, preach song.
We as women, when we pull our drawers down, it takes us through generations. They won't let that die. They're going to remind your children. And I said, I keep it real. Your mama was a hoe. That hoe pulled her clothes down, and honey, they talked about her all around the time. But guess what? They didn't say nothing about that man.
Come on.
So therefore, this is what I'm saying. We got to shine up our own crown. We got to carry ourselves. We know what's right and what's wrong. We got to wear that, bring that queen that was born in us out. The queen is beautiful. When she walks in the room, everybody pause. What I'm saying about your queen crown is your character. Your character is your crown. It's your queen. So you got to carry yourself. You, and I'm talking to us women. I'm like I said, I ain't going to sugarcoat it. You got to stop showing all your stuff. You got to stop showing all your good substance. You ain't going to never find nobody.
Yep.
But then you got a little girl that live in the home. You going to get on her. But mama, you wearing that. You a queen. We got to stop doing this. All the other races look at us thinking that we're the ones that do this. We are queens and kings, and we got to start living like it. Cover yourself up, women. It's okay to be sexy. I'm just keeping it real. We got to cover ourselves up. And we got to let the beauty in the inside shine.
Right.
Because I was fine in my days.
Yes, you will. We get it from
Nah, I'm just sexy because I'm big. I'm just sexy now. But it don't owe me nothing. And I ain't saying it's okay not to show a little skin. But we got to stop walking out the house like, we got to stop. That's all I'm going to say. We got to stop. You are a queen. A queen don't walk around like this. A man don't want nothing everybody else to see. A real man, he don't want everybody looking at his goodies.
Come on.
And you wonder why you ain't got no husband. You wonder why you ain't got no man. Because you done showed yourself to everybody. You done showed yourself to everybody. That's why God say you don't have sex before you get married. You know why? Because we begin to compare ourselves to somebody else. We compare ourselves to somebody else. We feel like we're not good enough. Because we got to put on these skimpy clothes and for some reason, in order to make a man look at us. No, that's not what he's looking at. I promise you. You can get a group of girls. Yeah, they're going to look at you, just look at you. But if he had to take you serious, you know who he going to get? Mm-hmm. That ugly girl that had on them ugly shoes and that ugly dress. Know why? Because she was covered up. Mm-hmm. He done seen what he had to see in you. Now, he want to try to play smart to get her to come out of her clothes. Mm. Because you done. He done seen that. So now he want to get it in your clothes. But what I'm telling you, queen, you're a queen on the inside. Wear your crown. Wear your crown. Your character is your crown. If you got a good character, mm-hmm. when somebody go to talk about you, nobody say, no, that ain't her. No, that ain't nothing that she'll do. You don't hear people say, no, that don't seem like something that they'll do. Know why? Because your character shows that person something different. So queens, have a personal relationship with God. Know who you are and who you are. Be truthful to yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Be truthful to yourself. Have standards. Have morals. Have guidelines. I ain't saying you get some women be like, oh, he got to be a doctor. He got to be 5'3". He got to have all the money. Money ain't never made nobody happy. Money bring on more problems. But who sang that song? More money, more problem. Money bring on more problem. You can take a little bit of money, pay your tithe, and you will have a whole lot of stuff. Believe me. People don't believe that tithe work. Tithing work. Trust me. Tithing work. And I'm tying all that in to get to my crown. Because remember I told you each little thing make me put a crown on my head. My character. My personal relationship with God. The way you treat people. How you help people. How you build people up. See, those are little diamonds that you put on your crown. So if you don't have a crown, and I'm going to tell you right now, all of us are beautiful. And all my black men, my hat's off to you. Because y'all are kings. You don't know you're kings. Some of them don't know. Some of you all don't know that you're kings. But let me tell you something. Y'all are kings. Y'all are a strong individual. And if you ever wake up and get it right, nobody will be able to handle our men's. So what I'm saying, know who you are and whose you are, and carry yourself as a queen, and it's going to come out. What's on the inside will come out. So when you think like a queen, you're going to act like a queen. Mm-hmm. So I'm a queen. I ain't got to please nobody else. But I'm a queen because he made me a queen. And I'm going to walk in my purpose, and I'm going to walk in that queenship. And like I said, I'm going to shine bright like a diamond. I want my light to shine. I don't want to have to tell you that I'm a child of God. I want you to see that I'm a child of God. And that's where I get my crown from. Not no money. Nothing that this world can give to me and take back. My crown comes from that the world can't give it. And the world can't take it away. Mm-hmm. And I'm wearing my crown. Day by day, I'm putting diamonds on my crown. It's going to be so heavy to you, it ain't going to be no crown no more. It's going to be a whole coat. You watch what I tell you. Okay. It's going to be a whole coat. So that's the way I look at it. And that's what I think of me as being a queen. My character. The way that when nobody's watching me, I ain't talking about going out the door and pretend. I'm talking about when nobody's watching me, I'm still that queen within.
Yep.
That's my queen. That's my crown.
Definitely. And you know, like every woman, every man, like we're born kings and queens. But once again, society, our environment, our mindset, it tells us otherwise. People are going to try to dim your light. You know, society is going to try to make you feel less than, you know, the things that you had to deal with as a child. Like, it's going to tell you that you're not a queen. And we think that you can never gain that back. We think because the mistakes that we made, we think that because of the issues that we've had, the things that we've done in our younger years, we think that makes us like we're held on to that. We hold on to that. We think that we can't never overcome that. We think that we have to live with that identity. But at any time, any day in your life, as long as you're waking up with breath in your body, that's the day that you're able to change your life. You are able to change your mindset. It ain't about what other people think about you. It's about what you see when you look in the mirror. What are you telling yourself when you look in the mirror? How do you feel about yourself? And at any time, society don't have to agree with you. Your peers, the people that know you, they don't have to agree with you. But when you say, I am a queen, I know my worth, I know my value, my crown, it may have fell down. I might have had my crown tucked underneath my coat for a little while.
That's right.
But today is the day that I say, this is who I am.
Yes.
I'm taking my power back. I'm taking my control back. I'm taking my life back. I do not live there no more. The person that you once knew, that's not me anymore. You can change your life. If you are able to change your mind, you can change your life. You can change your identity. Wake up and you start acting like it. Right? Like she said, you know, the way you dress. I used to think because I was broken and I didn't have no self-esteem, I used to think that, okay, I'm thick, shoot, I put on me some little cute shorts, I can go get them. Like, no. Guess what? You attracting the wrong attention. We looking at our daughters, we seeing all these people on Instagram. You know, we seeing these people like half naked, and we think that, oh, because they're getting all this attention, that makes them queenly. No. Most of those people, if you feel like you got to show off your body in order to get approval, if you feel like that's gonna make you satisfied, then you're still broken. Right? You're still broken on the inside. I look at these women who have been molested, raped, all this type of stuff. They feel like what makes them feel good is sleeping with different men, going around doing the same things. Like, no. You take your power back and say, no, I am worthy. My body is a temple. Right? And you gotta be VIP to come into my life. You have to have some standards about yourself. And that's what it's all about, just identifying with it and saying, this is who I am. No matter what society says, no matter what opinions anybody have of me, this is who I am. I know the woman that I am when I look in the mirror. And that is your queen consciousness. And let me tell y'all, like, I love my sister, man. She done came on here, and I'm telling you, she done got dang on. She done preached to y'all today, boy. She done preached to me. Like, thank you so much for getting on. Like, if y'all got some opinions, y'all got some feedback y'all want to give, make sure y'all leave a comment in the comments if you're watching this on the playback. You know, like, we want to know what y'all want to talk about. You know, Queen Talk. That's what it's all about. It's about us becoming better. You know, we going to break those generational curses. We're going to change our mindset.
We're going to get our sisterhood. We're going to lift one another up. We're gonna break this devil. We're going to break him down. We're going to mend families. We're gonna have the men to stand up. We're not going to put our black men down. We're not going to call them deadbeat. We're going to encourage them. Just call them and say, can you do better by the kids? We got to stop bashing each other. We got to stop tearing the family down, because you're not just hurting the two of you. You're hurting those little kids that's looking up to both of you all. And so therefore, we as black people, we got to change the way we look at it. We got to go back to the grandmama them days. The grandmama them days. Grandmama them days. No matter what came through, they took care of the family. They made that family stand together. And they raised those kids as a village. They took care of each other's kids. And that's what we got to do. Take care of each other's kids. Now, a lot of children call me Mama Yo-Yo. I got that name because I love all the children. I'm telling you now. If I see your child doing something wrong, I'm going to pull them to the side and I'm going to get on to them with love now. And I'm then going to go tell them and say, go tell your mama that Miss Yo-Yo said she got on to you. And I'll give you the phone number. And then we can come and talk about it. Because they your children and they my children. Because I love children. I love the family. I want to see our kids go somewhere. I don't want to see our little black boys keep going to jail. No. No, the devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. So mama and daddies, if you got fault with each other, like I told you, forgive each other. Forgive each other. Stop telling little Johnny and little Mary, daddy ain't no good, he ain't nothing but a deadbeat daddy. That's a lie. Daddy is somebody, daddy just ain't found himself yet. That's what you tell those children. Stop holding the children hostage against one another. Build that family. Get that family back together so the devil can flee. We got to stop bashing our black men, and our black men got to stop bashing the women too now.
Come on now.
We ain't no bees. I don't answer.
Exactly.
I ain't never had that problem. And some of us women done drop our crown because we want to be called that.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up your crown. I'm going to let the billy goat get back in the pen because I done took his horn. And know the queen that you are. May God bless you and have a good night.
Yep, this is Queen Talk. Once again, please go ahead and like and share this video. Somebody out there need this message on today. And thank you guys for tuning in. And until the next time, this has been Queen Talk, and it has been real. Bye-bye. Love you guys.
Bye.